Bang, bang.
Let's have the Monday, November 10th Selectmen's meeting come to order. Welcome, everybody. Tonight we have with us our recording secretary, Kelly Bigos, Tom Wooden, our town manager, and Selectman J.D. Warren, myself, Denise Griffin, Bill Hamblin, and Wendy Wolf. And in the audience, we have Julia Latter. So we will start out with town manager announcements. Tom.
Thank you, Denise. Just a couple of them here this evening. On Wednesday, we have several interviews scheduled for the 2 seasonal positions for Public Works that are open. I've already started the budget process with the department heads, and some of us will be meeting this week to firm up their budgets, and probably we'll have most of it finalized next week, I would hope. In your mailbox today was a letter from Chris Higgins, just a draft of what's going to go out to some residents on Commercial Street down in the area by Tugboat, talking about a sewer lining project that's going to be happening fairly shortly. And I think you're also going to see the 8 Wharf Street project start possibly as soon as this week. So there are some significant things happening, at least infrastructure-wise, in town. So those are the only things I had for public announcements at the moment.
Okay, great. Well, since you mentioned the budget process, I just would like to remind you that the board, I think, felt fairly strongly that we really do the best we can to find a new harbor master for next year, and we didn't want to overburden Nick Upham with too many jobs.
I remember. Yep.
So
Yep.
I think that's going to be important. Okay. Financials, Julia.
For you, you have the revenue and expense sheets. Total revenue year to date, $4,044,001.20. Total expenses, $3,457,147.09. Does anyone have any questions on the emergency? You will note what I said last time, that we are a little bit ahead of expenditures year to date, just because we put money in the capital reserve and cold storage building and stuff, but by looking at the projections, we'll be catching up with it. And our tax collection is right on target compared to this time last year. And total accounts payable is $478,336.08. And the bank balance is $2,580,055.72.
Great, and looks like we're in good shape. Anybody have any questions for
You
Julia?
happy?
I am.
Okay.
I'm happy.
Finally have mine. Said you finally have mine.
Okay, so we'll move on to the consent agenda, which is just to approve the minutes of the October 27th meeting. Can I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Everybody good? All in favor?
Yeah.
Wow, we're just moving right along here.
We're going for the 11th.
The 11-minute meeting. Okay, old business, Lincolnville Communications. We heard about the Lincolnville Communications fiber project at the last meeting. We asked them to redraft the agreement. I think they did so. Are people comfortable with that? If so, I'll take a motion.
Our lawyer was happy with it?
Had no problem with it. Yep.
I'm comfortable with it, yep.
Yeah, and the feedback from Bigelow was very
Yeah.
positive.
That's very
So,
good, yeah.
yeah, I'm fine with it too.
I thought that was very helpful too, Wendy, that feedback, getting it back
Yeah.
from Bigelow.
I want to know when they can get to the east side.
Yeah. My brother said, when can I sign up?
Right.
I think it's great.
Okay, so I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor of the Lincolnville Communications Agreement? Okay, motion carries. All right. New business? There's none on the agenda. Does anybody have any that they want to bring up that isn't on the agenda? No? Okay. Well, then we'll move on to public forum. And we have a very small public audience today. Anybody from the public wish to speak?
It's your show, Tony.
Yeah, Tony, Katrina, speak right up.
I'm only half public.
Half
Yeah.
public, okay. Well, you could talk out of one half of your mouth.
Okay, going once, going twice. Then we'll move on to executive session. Selectmen care to have an executive session?
I move we have an executive session under MRSA Section 405-6C, Economic Development.
Second.
Okay, all in favor of moving into executive session? We'll move into executive session at 7:08. Okay, so it is 7:40 and we are out of executive session where no decisions were made with regards to economic development. However, I will report that we have discussed an agreement, potential agreement between the town of Boothbay Harbor and Boothbay Harbor Selectmen and the town of Boothbay and Boothbay Selectmen, an agreement which has been developed in the joint economic development workshops, and at least at a high level, generally speaking, the selectmen, our selectmen, the Boothbay Harbor Selectmen, are in favor of the agreement. The agreement will not be voted on until the next upcoming economic development meeting. Does anybody else have anything they want to share about this?
Nope, that's
No, I
good.
think this is a positive step forward, so.
I do too, to a positive.
When will the next meeting for economic development be?
Well, that's a very good question. We're in the
They're
midst
still getting
of trying to
people's
figure that out.
availability.
It could be a week from tomorrow night, I think a week from tomorrow night, but we're not sure. So,
Next week sometime, I think it's.
Next week sometime, I think. but-
we hope.
Yeah, we hope.
So, okay. Any other comments, since it's been a short meeting? Any other comments?
You'll make a comment
Last-
about Central Maine.
Central Maine Power, and with regards to
Storm.
last week's storm.
Right.
Would you like to make a comment about that?
Well, I think Tom should send a letter to Central Maine.
Keep going, you brought it up.
Send a, and find out why the communications broke down.
I can't guarantee I'll find out anything, but I can
Well,
certainly address it.
I'd like to see
It's-
that.
Do I have it right? That from your standpoint, Tom, although we were without power for 2.5, many people were without power for 2.5 days, that in terms of the fire department and the public works crew and everybody turned to as they should, we had good communications locally,
Mhm.
but there was some difficulty in getting information from Central Maine Power,
Absolutely,
particularly with regard to the wires that were down on the tree that was across McCown Point.
absolutely. Yep.
And so I guess you're thinking that perhaps you should follow up with a letter to them and
I will certainly address that.
try and establish better communications for next time around.
Yep, I'll be glad to do that. No
Great.
problem.
Is that fair?
That's
Yeah.
good.
Good. If you
Thank
hear
you.
anything from them, let us know, because
Thank
we
you.
always want to improve. Okay, the next item on the agenda is warrants.
I move to approve the warrants.
Second.
All in favor of the warrants? Motion carried. The last item on the agenda is a motion to adjourn.
And so moved.
Second.
This motion is not debatable. All in favor? Thank you, everybody.